Did you know in life there's really only two forces? It's the force of faith or the force of fear. And whichever one controls your life. Whichever one you feed dominates you. Faith or fear. And so many times you have to choose faith over fear instead of like just pulling from the tension, right? So I want to talk to you just briefly about where we are. Where we are as just human beings, where I see things, what the impact that I see of all the time we spend on technology and all the consuming of content that I see going on. Guys, we are 100% addicted to our phones, and I've been talking about this because it's just been on my mind. We're 100% addicted to it, but I want to talk about what's going on that's even more subtle than that. It's this. Our nervous systems are being programmed with fear, 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 fear. Everywhere you turn, don't eat this, it causes that. Don't go here, you'll get that. You took that, you're probably going to end up with this. Just consuming that content all the days. Consuming the content of the what's going on in our global economy, our global world. What is going on? Like literally all the things so many of it is completely out of our control, but we're consuming it. And we consume it without a guard up. We take it in and take it in and take it in. And then we wonder why our nervous systems are like totally jacked up. We wonder why we can't sleep when we just finish scrolling that night and we've consumed nothing but negativity. Guys, faith or fear? You have to choose which one you're going to feed. Do you feed the faith of I can, I will, I'm well able, Christ in me, the hope of glory, and because of him, I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me? He has not given me a spirit of fear, but a power of love and of a sound mind. Or do you cater to fear? Oh, I don't know if we should do anything right now. Probably not a good time to buy real estate. We don't know what's going on globally. Oh, probably not. We shouldn't do this. We shouldn't take that risk. Oh, I better not go see that person. They might have different beliefs than I have, and we might not be able to get along. Like, guy, wake up. What are you feeding? Don't feed a giant of fear because you're not going to like what it delivers back to your life. You will find yourself shrinking back. You will find yourself getting smaller. And here's what I know. You are designed for greatness. You're designed with big purpose on your life. But your big purpose to accomplish it is going to require much faith to fulfill what you're on this earth to fulfill, to live not an average life, not a lack of impact kind of life, but live a very impactful, productive, fruitful impact. That kind of life is going to require that you step out in faith. You can't hear a good word. And if you're a Christian, you know what I mean by a good word. I'm talking church talk now. You can't hear a good sermon or message or whatever and think, oh, yeah, that's so great. And then sit there and never take action. Oh, the timing's not right. Oh, the timing. And there are seasons and times when you should step out, when you should. But for the most part, faith begins where the will of God is known. So you have to get the word on your situation. All right? Go find a scripture or promise that jumps out to you that becomes like, oh, yeah, that resonates with me. And begin to work your faith. Because you'll have in life what you believe. That's the scariest thing in the world. As you believe, so it is done unto you. And yet, so many times, we spend hundreds of hours a day feeding our fears, rehearsing our problems, rehearsing the issues. And guys, I get it. With what's going on in our world, what's with the problems and the desperate state of humanity, I get where we sit there, we hash the problems over. I get it. But I'm telling you, life is not found in hashing the problems over. Life is found in faith. Faith you have to embrace as an adventure. You have to embrace it as an adventure. Guys, I'll never forget this. So I have a real estate agent. I own a real estate company. I have a really fantastic team in the state of Iowa. And about 8 or 9 years ago, I was looking for a building. I was just getting to capacity in the current space that I was in. And I wanted to be growth minded because I believe that if you're not moving forward, you're dying, right? And so I was looking for other building options, and everything was gonna take so much remodeling, and I was like, "Ah." Nothing was really fitting the bill. And then one day, someone called me and said, "Hey, Amy, have you ever thought about building on this land over here that's coming available?" And that was like, whoa, to build a building. So I build a commercial building that's like about 20,000 square foot. And here's the thing, the very moment that I committed to it, I felt like an intimidation, like, what am I doing? And I would hear people say, "Who do you think you are? Why would you ever build something so big in a market your size? Why are you doing this?" And here's the thing, there was something deep on the inside of me that just knew that, hey, build the building, build this creative, great space, build it, build it, build it, build it. And I'm like, okay. And we got pricing back. And guess what? As everything is, pricing came back like 1.5 times the amount of money I wanted to spend. And I'm like, oh, man. So I went back and I was talking to my husband. I'm like, hey, I just think I'm not going to do this. And I remember Steve saying to me, Amy, if you don't move forward, you're going to burn out because you can't stand still and have growth and you can't stay in the place you're at. And I'm like, okay, we're going all in then. Worst case scenario, we're moving us in, our family in. This will be a commune, right? We'll move everybody in here. Worst case scenario. But I built this building on a leap of faith. And I encountered some difficulties in it. I mean, I had a phone call that, "Hey, it didn't pass the soil compaction test. Your concrete didn't pass." And I'm like, "Okay, what's that mean? Speak English to me. I'm not a contractor." It's about $150,000 for us to go in and do more soil compaction. And I'm like, "Whoa." Well, I'm so far in it that I can't quit. I mean, I'm like, well, it is what it is. I guess I have to just keep moving. And guys, I had days and nights where I would be fearful and intimidated and trying to figure out what the heck. But you know what? I got to the point where I would wake up in the morning and I would get in my car and I had this favorite song and it was by Kim Walker Smith and it was called You're on My Side. And I would drive and I would sit in the back of we have this is in a property that's got like a cul-de-sac behind it. And I would sit in the cul-de-sac and look at the building. And I would prophesy over the building. You're filled with tenants. You're filled with life. It's complete. And I went through the most craziest experiences getting into this building. Not with just, oh, hey, $150,000 phone call, but at the same time, I had some difficulty in our business legally. And I was like, what the heck? And it was all a snare to get me just to back up and stop. Guys, I'm telling you, I had to choose faith over fear every day. And sometimes I had to choose faith over fear every hour. Sometimes it was moment by moment. I would choose faith over fear. Guys, he is always about building your capacity. God is always about building your capacity because you have to build on a structure that can support the next step, the next level, what he's called you to carry. People often ask me, how do I know what my purpose is? Well, you'll walk into your purpose. Just keep taking the next step. You'll walk into all you're supposed to walk into if you keep moving, right? But so many times we withdraw because we cater to fear. We cater to it. Again, I'm in the real estate business and I sit and I look at so many people and that don't ever get in the game. They've never bought real estate. They don't know, they've never done it. And because they're always fearful, maybe the interest rate didn't seem right at the time, or maybe they just thought money was a little tight at the time. They didn't want to invest. And now I see them struggle and I'm like, wow. And here's the thing, guys. There's been things I wish I would have invested in. I know this. 99% of the time, you're going to have regret for what you didn't do versus what you did do. But for you to be successful in your walk of faith, it's going to take tenacity and perseverance and really feeding your faith. That means you have to feed on, what does God say? I have to feed on, I'm led, I'm directed, I'm well able, I'm capable, and provision is showing up. You have to talk like that. Your language needs to be like, I'm walking in my complete fulfill. Now I'm going to walk and fulfill all of the things I'm supposed to fulfill on this earth. I'm going to accomplish everything I'm assigned to accomplish. I'm well able because God lives in me. Christ lives in me. Christ in me, the hope of glory, right? Gives me the ability to move forward and walk the path of faith. But I'm telling you guys, in the midnight hour, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, those whispers, gonna fail. What if this doesn't work? What if everybody leaves you? What if your business falls apart? What if your marriage falls apart? What if your health? Whatever, it's the whisper. What if this doesn't turn? What if, what if, what if? And I'm telling you, it is in these moments that you have to make a conscious decision and choose faith. Get out of the bed and say the opposite. Last night, I was laying in bed. I was sleeping, sound asleep, and 2 in the morning, lights on. I mean, it's like my whole body woke up completely like, hello? And I was on high alert, and I had all of a sudden, all these negative thoughts started hitting my head. And I was laying there because I was like half asleep, and I'm like, ah. And I started thinking about it, and all of a sudden I'm like, wait a minute, what am I doing? I jumped out of the bed. Thank God Steve sleeps sound. I jumped out of the bed, and I'm like, no, no, not going this way. This is not how this is going. And I just started to affirm the exact opposite. And I'm like, God has not given me a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and of a sound mind. Right? I have the mind of Christ. I think the thoughts of Christ. I hold his heart. Literally, he gives me strategic wisdom. He gives me creativity, like all the things. But it is a daily choosing. Am I going to choose the path of faith, or am I going to cater to the path of fear? And the fear path is tricky because it can look like you're just being prudent. Fear can look like, oh, I'm just being prudent. But it all comes from the source. Is it motivated by fear, or is it motivated by wisdom? And the two can look. You have to really discern that. Is it wisdom or fear? Wisdom or fear? But if you're hearing voices in your head like, back it up, don't do this, you can't. Like, that's fear. It's not your faith. So make the decision today. I'm going to feed my faith. I'm going to have friends that are faith. I'm going to spend time in the Word. I'm going to listen to messages. I'm going to think faith. I'm going to talk faith. Because here's the thing. How you speak, what follows I am, follows your life. You can't afford to give place and to make fear statements. Like, I am this. You can't make those statements because what follows I am follows your life. I'm going to get that deep in you. What follows I am follows my life. So when you say something negative, if you add this little, I call this my little hack. If you add, and that's exactly how I want it to be, you won't say half the things you say. When you're talking about your weight and you're like, oh, and that's exactly how I want it to be, you would never say that. Or you're talking about your finances and that's exactly how I want it to be, you would never say that. So let that be a hack for you. Whatever follows I am, follows your life. So if you say, I am this, I'm blessed. That means I have an empowerment to increase and prosper. Blessed, wholeness, abundance, nothing missing, nothing broken. I have an empowerment, a supernatural enablement. Like all the things. That's I am. Affirming faith. Or I can go down the thing of path. Well, you know what they say when you get this age. Guys, just think of all the things that gets spoken out of people's mouth that literally locks them in to a path of fear. But fear is tricky, so keep a watch out for it. What may look like wisdom, depending on its source, could just be fear in disguise. So think about it. Think, am I going to take a leap of faith? Here's what I know. You're never more fully alive than when you're out walking by faith, when you're growing, when you're out there on a limb. Here's the thing. I'm like, I live out on a limb. I'm like, God, I'm out on a limb always. It's just you and me. And I'm trusting you, and I'm going to keep taking the next step, and the next step, and the next step. And I believe that you lead and guide and direct my path. Guys, say those things about your life. Say it over yourself. Affirm that you're led of the Lord. Affirm that heaven gives you downloads of strategic wisdom. Affirm that your steps are ordered. Affirm that you're favored. Affirm that everything is working for your good. Flip the narrative. Faith or fear, you choose. But here's what I can tell you. If you choose the path of fear and you cater to it, it only grows. It doesn't stay in one area. You might say, well, I have fear in this area. Maybe it's in finances or business or relationship, or you don't want to be alone, or maybe it's health. Like whatever your situation of fear is, unless you confront it and say no to it, it will take more and more ground. It wants to possess you. The spirit of fear wants to consume your life to smallness, that you do nothing because you feel so fearful. You don't experience life to the fullness because you're fearful. You don't have relationships with people because what if they reject you? You're fearful. You don't make a phone call to someone you don't know. You don't step out and ask the next question. You don't because of fear. The consequence and the high cost of a life that caters to fear is a path of regret. A path of when you're getting ready to, exit this earth, you look at your life and you think, man, I didn't do that. I did do that. I played it safe here. Guys, I'm telling you, feed your faith. Feed the God on the inside of you. Feed the hopes, the possibilities. Feed that and watch what happens. Because as you believe, so it is done to you. Like the Bible says, as a man thinketh, so is he. So I have a friend who always says to me, Amy, thoughts are things. And I haven't said this for a while. I'm going to say it tonight. Thoughts are things, and they're either working for you or against you. But no matter what, they're working. So if if you've got a whole litany of bad thoughts going down your head, like you won't let that train go very long when you realize that it has a path that it's working. So remember, thoughts are things, either faith or fear, but they're always working. That's the thing. Whatever you're thinking, it's working for you or against you. And when we can get a hold of that, it puts a responsibility on us to guard our mind, keep a close watch on what our thought life looks like. And here's the thing. Out of the overflow of the heart, the mouth speaks. Language locates people quickly. Language is a locator. I locate myself by what I hear coming out of my mouth. Oh, well, I'm giving place to a lot of fear. Oh, I better reframe that. I better get back on the faith train. Guys, there are times that we have to step back, and there's times to release the fear to a confidant, to a great friend, to share your heart. I've got this going on. I'm anxious about this. Pray with me, do whatever. But then you have to reset and to get back on the faith path again. Your life will look, and you'll do great exploits on this earth by what you feed. Feed your faith. It's the greatest force on earth, and it's the most coveted thing in your life. Faith. Get faith friends. Feed your faith. Live your faith. Speak your faith. And watch your life transform. Watch your impact be increased. Watch doors of opportunity open. And then step through them. It's always scary stepping through those doors, right? What if I fail? Oh, but what if I succeed? Oh, yeah. Fear and faith. There's a tension with them all the time. And your life looks like whichever one you cater to. And it's a daily decision. Sometimes it's an hourly decision. And sometimes it's a moment-by-moment decision. I'm going to stay in faith. I'm going to stay in faith. Remember this, guys. You are more. You're on this earth for more. You carry great purpose on your life. You're gifted. You're called. You're uniquely talented. Feed your faith. And watch your faith move mountains out of your way. Watch your faith open up the doors for you to a life that you can't even believe is possible. I appreciate you. Keep speaking it, keep thinking it, and be blessed because you truly are more.